when you guys were doing your loops throughout the Northeast or even just like the Midwest, Minnesota and shit, and Michigan, it's amazing more shows weren't canceled. Or, I mean, you had substitutions on the card and stuff, but there must have been some that, I mean, how do you do TV with half your roster? You got all these angles written, right? You've been writing 2 and 3 weeks out because you're advancing towards a pay-per-view or something. You get a couple of key people don't make it to the building. What do you do?
There's no such thing as not making it. That's on you. That's why that I think it was Harrisburg when we were late because we fucking stopped and like had Cracker Barrel or something, and Paul said, "What the? We're gonna fucking get so much heat." And I said, "Just watch me, man. Just follow my lead." I said, "Walk behind me and shake your head like." What was I supposed to do? And I walked in and I just said, "Who the fuck booked this motherfucker?" And I just went off and they just went like, "Well, we were going to say you're fucking fine, but nobody's fucking got the balls to." So
what was your ruse? You were complaining who booked because you got lost?
No, it was that fucking Pennsylvania Turnpike, man. The fucking speed limit's like 55 and it was, oh my God, there was a fucking 1.5 feet of snow and it was like
2 tractor trailers overturned.
Yeah, but I mean, we just stopped and fucking
ate.
Yeah, like 2 gentlemen fucking ate instead of having instead of having an IcoPro bar, stopped and fucking had little Uncle Herschel's fucking breakfast with the extra fucking teriyaki chicken, like a couple cups of coffee, like fuck, like
the bologna and white bread wasn't good enough for you
exactly.
At catering, huh?
Like I said,
Mr. Big Shot.
Remember one time we were trying to catch a plane in fucking Frankfurt. Like there was a McDonald's in the Frankfurt airport. And, we all looked at each other and said, "Think we got time to grab a burger?" Macho said, "Fuck it, there's always another plane." And we were like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, right, Mach? Let's fucking get some burgers." Like, who the fuck's... We were so just beat down.
Yeah. When you would 90s travel, you weren't like crisscrossing the country like in the 80s with the A, B, and C shows. Like you could be in San Diego one night, New York the next night, Montreal the next night. So you would fly, let's say, into like Newark, right?
Newark.
You'd land.
We do Newark.
You do Meadowlands.
Occasionally we would do that. There'd be that whole Meadowlands, Uniondale,
Boston,
then Garden.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes we do that. Garden was always a Saturday night show. Uniondale we do, then but we'd only usually do 2 of those. And the one that wasn't one of the like normal 3 was the Meadowlands, because you would do
it's a lot in one area. It's
you do
New
the
York
Garden,
City and the Meadowlands,
then you do like go do Boston, go do Portland,
Baltimore,
Portland, Maine.
Oh, you go up as far as Maine just from the New Jersey flight? You drive your way up.
I've been from New Jersey as far west as Yuma
on just the Newark flight. Wow.
Yeah, because think about it. If you land in Newark and you do Newark,
if you're going west, you're talking about, right?
If you go west,
Philly,
so you go Philly,
Allentown,
then Baltimore, then work your way across Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh to Cleveland, Cleveland to Detroit, and these are like Detroit to St. Louis is $299. Or Chicago, Detroit to Chicago is $299. Chicago to St. Louis is $298. I mean, it's just like, and you would start, and now you're at the Mississippi. You're on your way over.
Wow.
It's just,
That's remarkable.
yeah.
And it's, again, the thing that's miraculous to me. This is the time before cell phones, too, right? So you're not booking hotels on the fly in the car
No,
while you're driving. You're pulling into a town,
you're
dude.
pulling in. You're pulling in. You start. I mean, it's depending on the size of the town. If it's Baltimore, you better start looking for a hotel 20 miles out of town.
Right. When you're headed down, start
Yeah,
looking before you get
start
in.
looking,
Right.
and then it's just it's so much easier when if you got guys and you go to a red roof because you can back right up,
Mm-hmm.
get 2 rooms adjoining, throw your shit in, you're set.
How are you washing your stuff? Are you doing it in the sink?
Sink with Woolite,
Right.
shampoo,
You packing it wet or would it dry overnight?
dry it over. You take a towel, put it in the towel, and then squeeze it, and then hang it up over by the wall unit heater.
Mm-hmm. Now, how much personal clothing are you taking? You got your gigantic boots.
See, what we did was we finally came up with a system where we would bring 5 days of work clothes, 5 days of clothes, and you got to realize a pair of black jeans is 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
You teach a guy right off the bat. These black jeans are better than blue jeans. The only thing is, fucking don't eat mustard. You eat mustard and you get on the black jeans, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And everybody wore those high techs, tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Your pants tucked into your high techs. You had your fanny pack, and then you had your t-shirt and some kind of leather coat and a baseball cap, and off you went.
You could reuse your washing your wrestling gear, so you're reusing that
Well,
on
we
the
would we
loop.
would we would then we went on a train. We were training 4 days in a row and taking a day off. So the day off, we go to the laundromat,
Hmm.
and then everybody just wash your shit, fold your shit. You have brand new gear, and it was it just made life. We before you'd have 2 CCM uh, hockey bags full of fucking gear.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing had wheels back then. You know, you'd always see like Sheik would always, Ar, he'd be in the line checking his bags. Ar, do the shrugs. He'd have his bags in his hands. He'd be
Oh, doing the
doing doing the shrugs.
turn
That's
everything into a workout.
oh
He did.
everything,
He
everything.
did lines of blow standing on his head.
Yeah. So yeah, that
And
was
then if you're fortunate enough, quote unquote, to have a belt
you get to drag that bitch
to
with you.
haul around to.
And then everybody wants to look at that. Thank God nobody had cell phones because then it would because nobody you didn't have a cell phone, so nobody would take a picture with you with the belt through the TSA. So
What about if you're in one of these snowstorms or just terrible conditions and you're going to be late with no cell phones? You have to pull over and call who? Call the main office, who then gets in touch with whoever the road agent is. Like, how do you reach the building to say we're fucked?
Fink was always great. Fink was like you always knew that Fink would get the message to whoever need be
Got it. Right.
if he had to sit in the office till 11 o'clock at night and get it there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just we were. I mean, we were, and you have to realize too. In the same token, as bad as the weather was, if you lived in the Northeast in those times, it's like at 4 o'clock in the morning, major roads are fucking salted.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't go, you didn't go up anywhere in the Northeast, and we spent 2/3 of our time in the Northeast. You didn't go into the Northeast and shit not be, you know, you could just once you got off in Niagara Falls, then had to find a hotel. You know, yeah, it might be the
Right.
roads might be rough, or Buffalo or something like that. But
What about like just like how did you follow like the Final Four when you were on the road like that?
there is none.
You could you see any of the tournament or
This weekend, I because you book shit. I'm at a Comic-Con in Albuquerque. When the Lions kick off, I'll be sitting at a table.
really? And it was like that tenfold when you were doing the road.
Oh,
You couldn't follow your team. You couldn't see
you
anything.
couldn't fit it. So you would get up the next morning. No, we always had Sports Center.
Oh, when you get back to the hotel,
so
you
we
could
got
catch
to the hotel
highlights.
that night. You always had Sports Center, and Sports Center was like for a sports junkie like me was like, I mean, it was uncut because I didn't know anything.
Right.
And you talking about fucking, if it was summertime, fucking, I watched every baseball clip. I mean, it was like, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like you can't follow any. It's literally your like you couldn't watch the Grammys. I know you're excited about award
Like to
shows
me,
and
like
like
the
the Emmys you would miss.
the first 4 days of the basketball tournament, I I don't leave my house.
I know.
I mean, that's my fucking jam right there.
Oh, but isn't it great when it kicks off and you
Uh,
get all fucking night. You get 4 channels you could have going,
uh,
all the TBS channels.
that's just
You no selling bastard with my awards joke.